This is exactly the spark that the Philadelphia Phillies needed. After several weeks of straight up lifeless baseball, Otto Kemp has been given an opportunity after tearing it up in the minor leagues. The rookie is proving why he belongs to the MLB level and why he could be a difference maker for this Phillies team, plugging into that utility role that has been desperately needed. I want to break down exactly what his future could be for this Phillies team, his impact in the short and long term, and why I'm absolutely loving the vibe change that has been brought on by Otto Kemp being in the majors. Now, before I dive fully into things, do want to remind you guys, as always, to make sure you are hitting that subscribe button. At this point in time, only 27% of you guys watching these videos have subscribed to us here at Phillies Digest. We're going to continue breaking things down every step of the way this season, and it does feel like this Phillies team has a bit of life again. It was a frustrating stretch, but they're back on track, and I'm ready to break down every single angle for wherever things go from here. Now, to dive into the Otto Kemp situation, let's not forget that he received an opportunity at the major league level because of Bryce Harper being on the injured list. With Bryce Harper, his return looming, and it is not expected to be during this Marlins series, there will be a decision that needs to be made regarding the roster. And I want to break down why, as our very own Luke Arcaney pointed out on Twitter himself, that you cannot send Otto Kemp back down once Bryce is back. Now, to highlight exactly what we've seen from Kemp so far, that he's up to 308 on the season. He's hitting 381 during the homestand with 4 RBIs in the last 3 games, hitting 500 with runners in scoring position, which we know has been a weakness for this Phillies team. We've seen him play third base. We've seen him play first base. I would be shocked if we don't see him at least get an attempt out in left field, which he's played a little bit in the minor leagues as well already, and he's a ball player. That is the number one thing that we should learn about Otto Kemp, and that's exactly how Rob Thomson likes to put it himself. He was asked about the rookie and his early impressions, and Topper said, quote, "He's a baseball player, and I like baseball players because they play the game the right way." This is high praise from an old school baseball guy in Rob Thomson himself, and really fits the mold for what we're seeing with Otto Kemp there. He just seems to be a baseball player, that he's got a little bit of that it factor, the ability to do whatever the team needs, play with multiple positions, and he's smacking the baseball right now. This is coming off from recording this after the Father's Day game in which he went 4 for 5 at the plate. This increased his average to 357 at the major leagues, and I think more so than anything, why I'm so fired up about Otto Kemp is it's a change in energy. What my frustration has become with this Phillies team is there's been kind of a comfortability that I think is unhealthy, that I think in sports and in athletics, and particularly when you get to the highest levels, guys need to be pushed. They need to see somebody staring down their backside, that there is a guy over their shoulder coming for their job, and there really has not been enough of that with the Phillies, that they've embraced this core, they have the guys they clearly believe in, and we're just rocking with whatever the results of that are. This quote from Nick Castellanos, I think, encapsulates it pretty well. We know Cassie himself has a way with words, a poet, but he was asked, Nick Castellanos, on the spark that Otto Kemp has given the Phillies lineup. Quote, "He's got a lot of fire. He's living his dream right now, right? Fresh in the big leagues, a lot of energy. He gets to the ballpark 8 hours before the game starts. It's just fun to watch." This is exactly what the Phillies should be leaning into, and this has been sort of my frustration the entire year, that I think there should be not a youth movement, because this is obviously a team that, when things fully click, is designed to be a World Series contender, and you have to continue rolling out your high-value guys. But the guys like Justin Crawford, the guys like Andrew Painter, we've seen McAble get an opportunity. Aiden Miller has an interesting case there. These guys that are pushing up the minor leagues should be rewarded for their impressive performances, and they are doing that with Otto Kemp. I do truly feel that there is an energy shift when that is the case, and that is kind of what I feel like is going on with this Phillies team. We know they're a better baseball team than they've shown in recent weeks. It's been really frustrating, really disappointing, and frankly, concerning outputs on the field, and I'm not saying that Otto Kemp being called up to the majors changes this entirely on its head, but the fact that there is a little bit of spark of life, some energy, and a guy who has some hunger, who hasn't earned or proven anything at the major league level, I think is beneficial to everyone there. Now, when having the lineup discussion or the roster discussion for what is next, the clear answer to me here is that we may be at the end of the road for Weston Wilson. And started the same appeal for Wilson was that he was so positionally versatile, that we could see this guy play at third base, play in the outfield, basically do whatever the Phillies need him to do. The problem with that being is he's basically been an inadequate version at all of these positions this year. Outfield, he's been especially poor. I know the one that is making its rounds on Twitter is one where he's laying out, running to the left in a ball that he basically had no chance at whatsoever. He's misplayed a couple out there in left field this year. I don't think Otto Kemp is going to be this gold glove left fielder, and obviously Max Kepler still has the inside track on holding that job the majority of the time. but I do think they should experiment with a little bit of platooning, give Kemp a little bit of an opportunity, and there is some flexibility with him being capable of filling both first and third base, playing the corners there. These are all things that matter, and at the end of the day, it's going to be his bat that continues to earn him an opportunity. This dude is absolutely raked at the minor leagues, and while the power has not come yet, at least at the major league level, what I'm really impressed with is the way that he puts together at bats. He's willing to float one over the second base side or just bloop one through the infield. He just takes what a pitcher will give him and turns on it and makes it work. That's pretty rare for a young guy at the major league level. That's not something we see often, and we kind of know at this point the whole Otto Kemp story. This is a guy who had a Division II collegiate career, who went undrafted at the major league level, and just continues to outperform every single expectation that has been put on him. That's a dude I'm ready to bet on if I'm the Philadelphia Phillies, and clearly they are showing that with their decision-making process. I do think it's awesome that they even gave him a chance. I was a bit skeptical that would even be the case. I did wonder if that he would kind of get lost in the quadruple A sort of level, that maybe he is too good enough to be kept at AAA, but is he a guy that can really be a major league talent? I was fearful that he would not get the opportunity at least this season. The fact that he's been given a chance and making the most of it, to me, answers all questions that should be asked. That this is a guy who belongs, who is necessary to this Phillies team, and should be given a chance. I don't know how large his role looks like, frankly. Projecting forward, I would guess that he is a guy that is purely a bench type of player moving forward. But to have him as a rotational piece and an option on an everyday basis as we go through the 162 game grind, I think would be an absolute win for this Phillies team. So to Weston Wilson directly, I do think him hitting for a cycle has extended his leash of the MLB level far longer than it should have. And he obviously had a couple flashes last year with this Phillies team, but it's been pretty rough to watch this year. A guy like Otto Kemp, who has hunger, has youth, plays the game the right way, can play the same amount of positions on all these type of conversations, he checks every box for the direction they should be going. So to Weston Wilson, we'll be wishing you the best once Bryce Harper is back from injury, but that is my full expectation for this Phillies team. I am very encouraged that we're getting a chance to see Kemp, and he's earning every bit of it. This is hopefully the energy shift that this team needs within the rest of the season. There's still plenty of decisions to be made, plenty better baseball that they do have to reach there, but I think this is a start, having Otto Kemp as a part of this organization moving forward. I do hope he sticks around. I do hope they do not have me fired up if that is not the case, and they do elect to send him back down once Bryce Harper is healthy. But frankly, I do think that he's earned his chance, and I think that the Phillies are going to give it to him. But let me know what you guys think about the Otto Kemp experience at this time. Are you sold on him already in the way that I am, or do you still have your doubts and questions? Drop those in the comments below, and as always, to remind you guys one more time to make sure you are hitting that subscribe button. Once again, 73% of you guys watching these videos have not subscribed to us at Phillies Digest just yet. We got plenty of exciting things on the horizon. Are going to continue to be ripping out content here on the channel and want as many people a part of the Phillies Digest family as possible. So make sure you're hitting that subscribe button if you have not already. Drop your thoughts on Otto Kemp in the comments. Drop a like on this video down below. I'll be back talking to you next time right here on Phillies Digest. Peace.